Hello, leader. Welcome back to our summer series all about team development. Do you have people on your team that you promoted into a leadership role? You know, you're team leaders who are responsible to lead people, processes, and profit centers. Well, they come in all shapes and sizes, backgrounds, and they bring their own unique style and culture to your small business every day. So, how are they doing, really? Are they feeling confident, and on track? Do they worry that they're not cut out for this role? Do they struggle with understanding what being a leader really means? If so, join me today as I help you and your team leaders with some reinforcement so that they're more clear and able to focus on what matters most as they continue to evolve into effective leaders. Today's topic, confrontation. It's kind of a big thing in every workplace, and it's also how we as leaders hold people accountable right across your team. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Stacking Your Team podcast, smart leadership for women who mean business. If your business has grown and your team has grown, but it still feels like too much depends on you, this is your podcast. I'm your host, Shelli Warren. Each week, you'll get practical leadership strategies to help you build leaders, create more accountability across your whole team, and stop being the default decision maker in your business. Because your business should be able to grow without requiring more of you. So let's get to it with this reminder. The team that got you here may not be the team that will get you there. Let's go. You know, at Stacking Your Team, I consider team leaders to be people who are being paid to lead people, processes, and profit centers. You may or may not be client-facing. You may be billable or non-billable. Your actual role title might be something like lead trainer, operations manager, clinical director, or senior store manager. Maybe you're a technical designer, a lead hygienist, or a law firm administrator, or something similar. It's not about your role title, it's about the outcomes that you deliver. You've been tasked to improve the business, and that requires you to lead. I get it. The word confrontation, for most people, comes with visions of heated arguments and can evoke feelings of fear, anxiety, and resistance. After all, no one wants to spark conflict and drama in their workplace. Well, at least high-performing people don't. But it's a common misconception that confrontation is a bad word. Jeepers, it's just a word. It's us, we humans, that have laden the word with all of our concerns. So what if I could teach you that as leaders, it's important to reframe confrontation as a constructive tool for addressing issues and driving positive change within your team? I mean, come on. Don't you want to work at a place where people can talk to each other without it feeling as aggressive or threatening? And don't you want to work at a place where people learn how to develop peer-to-peer conversations that are well received and feedback that's actually acted upon? Not begrudgingly, but because the person wants to grow and thrive. Yeah, I want to work at that place too. I have worked at that place. It was in corporate with very large teams, which is code for lots and lots of personalities to contend with every day. And you can foster this kind of team environment at your small business, including those of you who work on a remote team. Here's how. Let's start with considering and then embracing a few points. The first one, as a team leader, part of what you're getting paid to do is to support the people that you are responsible to so that they thrive at work. Now, this is going to take learning how to speak to people respectfully and effectively. Sometimes it's going to mean speaking to them in such a way that sparks them to be motivated to listen and then take action on the feedback you just shared with them. And of course, sometimes it's going to mean sharing bad news, saying no, not right now, and even terminating people. But there will be other times when it includes acknowledging how far they've come and how much everyone appreciates their willingness to try new things, be stretched, and stay steady under pressure, or be open to working alongside all kinds of people, some of whom may be very different from them. So this first point is all about recognizing the expectation your leader has of you. Role modeling communication skills right across the team. She's counting on you to help her build a team culture where it's normal to confront each other, address issues with the intention of solving them, and helping people learn how to do this well. Now, the second point that every leader needs to accept is that many people are reluctant to talk directly with the person that they're having the issue with. Instead, they're more comfortable complaining about it to others, even running to their leader to whine about the person, make accusations and speculations, and sometimes even embellish or exaggerate the facts because their emotions got the better of them. They're frustrated and they want things to change, but they're not confident to speak to the person because when they envision this, they'll think about it as needing to hash it out or get to the bottom of it or tell them off. These are all words and phrases that put a definite negative spin on it, which naturally adds to their reluctance to do it. So this second point is all about helping people learn how to confront each other in such a way that adds to their working relationship, not tear it down and light it all on fire. No one wants to work in a place where it's normal to tolerate it and then stir up a lot of drama about it, but not actually do the heavy lifting required to have what I like to call adult conversations at work. And heads up, if this point describes you, as of today, you need to take action to change this. The third point that every leader needs to accept is that confrontation is your friend. Once you and the whole team starts practicing it, everyone feels more comfortable trying it out, fumbling around a bit, but giving each other space to try again. Now, you heard me here on the podcast before about the many times when I was learning how to lead, when I would ask people for a do-over, meaning I knew I messed it up, and I asked if they would let me give it another try. And no one ever refused me, probably because I came to them in humility and a genuine desire to acknowledge that my style may have rubbed them the wrong way, or even hurt them. And I was asking to try a different approach so that we could together improve the outcome for the both of us. The third point is about creating a psychological safety zone to learn a new skill and over time get better and better at it so that it becomes a very normal way of interacting with everyone. Let's dive into this critical leadership skill a bit deeper. Here are the top benefits of mastering how to confront people in the workplace. First up, it saves you time and boosts productivity because it puts an end to people being distracted, overwhelmed, or afraid to come to work because of the heaviness of unresolved conflict between a few coworkers. Instead, leaders who address problems and conflicts or even misunderstandings directly rather than letting them fester demonstrate how much they are aware of how resolving it can make things easier and calmer for everyone. By confronting issues head-on, leaders can prevent small issues from escalating into larger problems that can really disrupt your team dynamics and everyone's productivity. I'm sure you've seen this and had some regrets that you didn't take action sooner, and it likely impacted your relationships and your reputation too. Secondly, mastering how to confront people in the workplace reinforces accountability within the team. When leaders hold team members accountable for their actions or their decisions, it establishes clear expectations and promotes a culture of responsibility and ownership. By having these adult conversations, you're providing opportunities for growth and development, both for you and the team members. When leaders confront challenges by providing feedback, it encourages individuals to take a moment and reflect on their actions, learn from their mistakes, and then improve their performance. Great team leaders learn how to help others overcome challenges and strive for excellence in their work. And thirdly, mastering how to confront people in the workplace by teaching, role modeling, and practicing peer-to-peer confrontation, everyone learns how to demonstrate authenticity, honesty, and transparency, which are essential elements in building trust and respect across any team, regardless of how big or small it is or where you're located. When leaders are willing to confront difficult situations with integrity and empathy, it strengthens relationships and fosters a sense of camaraderie within the team. And when your team sees you doing this well, they will watch and try it themselves. Peer-to-peer confrontation helps team members work towards finding mutually acceptable solutions to whatever interpersonal issue they've got going on. This is fantastic because the team becomes self-sufficient. They won't run to you expecting you to fix the conflict, and they'll want to find a way to work together because no one wants what is now often referred to as a toxic workplace. When someone says, "This place is so toxic," what they're really saying is that there's a lot of resentment and miscommunication because people are avoiding having to have those difficult adult conversations. So people are not on the same page. They don't collaborate well, and they compete with each other. And your team culture is very off track from the core values and the promise you made to each other when you all accepted those job offers. So if you take one thing away from today's episode, let it be this. Confrontation promotes accountability, which is why it's your friend. Here's what I mean by that. You can't be frustrated, annoyed, or disappointed with one of your team members for not following through on something, or not meeting expectations, or not connecting the dots if you don't clearly talk to them about the performance outages. Now we know that not everyone has the self-awareness to see, feel, hear, or sense that they are off mark, and then quickly adjust their behavior for a better outcome. But that's the goal, to hire people who are self-aware and who can read the room and who can notice that the result didn't quite hit the target instead of needing someone else to point that out to them. When we hire people who bring a higher level of maturity, we invite an elevated team culture experience because they've been coached before, either in their work experience or in sports or socially. So they're open to it and they have the emotional skill set to listen and then take action to improve. Now, I've led lots of people who require very little coaching because they were always ahead of the game, ahead of what was expected, and would ask others whose input they respected for feedback instead of waiting for me. This was helpful because it lessened my load as a leader, and it also offered them an avenue to build deeper relationships with peers, including people who are not directly involved in their day-to-day responsibilities, but who are also high performers and who had a vested interest in seeing people succeed at work. You could just feel the mutual respect that these types of working relationships foster, and that's an incredible thing for your small business. That level of peer-to-peer confrontation and peer-to-peer coaching is how high-performing teams stay strong, agile, and ready for anything. As a leader, it's up to you to set the tone, be the first one to lean into it, and to face the fact that part of what you're being paid to do is to develop people, and that includes teaching them how to communicate with each other well. Before I send you off today, I want to encourage you to consider setting up an expectation with your team members to listen to this episode and then talk about it in a team meeting or your next one-to-one. If you are a team leader, what did this episode spark for you? Why not reflect on it and then discuss your thoughts with your direct leader or other members of your leadership team? I'm sure they'd be keen to hear from you. Confrontation truly is your friend when you are in a leadership role. If you've made it through to the end of this episode, bravo! That tells me that you're primed to expand your leadership skills. Now, did you know that I'm offering a limited number of spots this summer for live and virtual team trainings? I've got some very popular 60-minute workshops that you can choose from, and I'll dive into these topics with your team to leverage your summer slowdown and elevate their performance as a team. So these are live, it's virtual, and it really is me that's coming in to spend some quality time with your team members. Head on over to stackingyourteam.com/summer and grab your spot. Come connect with me on Instagram, where I'm at stackingyourteam.
This is Ellie. Come back next Tuesday. My Mimi will have another episode for you.